Hey everybody, I'm titling the video today, It's Time to Wake Up. As I've talked about in previous videos, fall is a time to release. And a lot of us are doing the work right now, and we have woken up and we are shifting and realigning our reality. We are releasing past traumas. Anything that's low vibrational that no longer serves our highest good, we are just releasing anything and everything. We're merging those timelines together. We're shedding off and just letting go of anything that's holding us back and weighing us down at this time. And it's very raw, and it can feel uncomfortable, and it can bring up a lot of emotions of anger and resentment and fear and worry and all of those things. But that's okay, because as it transmutes into and dissolves into light, as it passes through us, it's okay to feel those things, but as long as we don't remain in that vibrational state, then we know that we're actually doing the work. If we continue to stay angry for days on end, then we are not releasing, we are holding on. So we have to release. And it's so important to understand that our mind is very powerful, and so our intention is very important. So we have to really truly believe and want to release all of these past traumas and lower vibrational energy that's holding us back and causing blockages in our life and preventing us from moving forward with beauty and with grace and with dignity and harmony and all of those high vibrational things. And so allow the energy to flow through the body. There are physical symptoms I've talked about before that people are experiencing and writing me about right now. And those are part of the process as well. We have the emotional release and energetic release, and then we have the physical body processing all of this. And so there could be minor headaches, stomach aches, blurred vision, ringing in the ears, vivid dreams, sudden just shifts in clarity in your thoughts, where you suddenly don't seem to be worried about as many things anymore. Just think about lightening the load, and as you lighten the load and release and let go, your vibration will shoot up, rise up very fast. And once you get through that uncomfortable period of those physical sensations and those emotional processing vibrational frequency shifts, then once you are raised to a higher vibration, you will then feel much more at peace, feel empowered to speak your mind, your truth. And then the second wave will come through, where you start to really look around at those people in your life, those friends, those family members, spouses, siblings, and wonder why they're still asleep. And this is happening to a lot of people right now that are writing me and say, how do I convince those people around me that are still asleep? And my answer to you is you can't convince them. So you just have to hold the space. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more, because I had a lot of questions. I've received a lot of questions on what exactly does it mean to hold the space. So that's really what today's video is about. And I believe the more we hold the space, the rest of the population will follow. I'll get into that as well. So I got an interesting visual. So if you think about, visualize the poppy seed field that I talked about in the last video. So think of Wizard of Oz. Everybody's going through this beautiful poppy seed field, and the next thing you know, they're fast asleep. So that metaphorically is the state of humanity for thousands of years, under this low, dense vibrational spell, so to speak, to keep us asleep and not able to use our senses as we were designed to be able to do when we came down into this body. We were not supposed to be restricted. We were not supposed to be on this karmic wheel. It's just how history had played itself out, and now we're breaking free of it. So we have a mass quantity of people that are in this poppy seed field completely asleep, and then there are those that are waking up. So if you can think past that and visualize one of those doorways that you see at buildings where they're sliding glass doors, and as you walk past it, it senses you're there and it opens. Okay, so this is the visual that I got. This door on the at the end of this poppy field has been closed to humanity for hundreds, thousands of years, because of the powers that be that want to keep us kind of under control, so, and limited in our awareness. So we have those light workers that have come to Earth over the last thousands of years. But I'm going to try to concentrate more in these videos on the last couple hundred years, because that's when really things are shifting. So we have the light workers coming down and in a high vibrational state here to really help Mother Earth, get out of this dense third dimensional spell that everybody's under. And so the doorway to a higher consciousness out of this poppy field that has been closed for all of these hundreds of years, these light workers have come to the earth, and they have come with an awareness and a knowing that the earth is, this matrix is not what it appears to be, and we've been lied to, and our history books lied to us, and the media lies to us, and everybody's lying to us, so that we can stay in this lower vibrational, lower consciousness state, so that we don't tap into our higher consciousness, our innate power. And so, where was I going with this? So the light workers, slowly, if you can visualize, they have wedged their way in to slowly open the door a little bit at a time. And so over the last hundreds of years, the door is slowly wedged open by these beautiful beings coming in and wedging their light through it to start to open it. And over the last few hundred years, more and more light workers are coming to the planet, and they have opened the doorway just enough for us. Now, 2020 is a huge marker in our history, and it will likely be the year that our children's children and children's children talk about in their history books to come, because it's such a historic period in our linear time, and in this third dimensional time frame that we're living in this matrix. And so the masses of the population in that poppy field are starting to wake up, and their lights are now, that LED light is now transmuting and allowing them to be free and wake up. And they too are going to that wall and saying, I want to be in that wall too. Or the door, I want to open it up. And so now the doorway is literally wide enough that masses of people are starting to go through into this higher frequency. We won't even call it fifth dimension, because who knows exactly what it is, but we know it's a higher vibration than we're in now. And that's all that really matters. So the doorway is opening, and lots of people are starting to go through it. And then there are lots of, even more importantly, there are people who are holding that door open. So they were literally wedging with their light, holding that door. And there's resistance, because the powers that be, the lower vibrational dense energies, do not want that door to be open, because once they lose control, then the game is over for them. Matrix crumbled down, and we start something beautiful and new. And so there's resistance, and people are working really hard to keep that door open, so that as people start to wake up, they can either go through it or hold the space. So what does it mean when I say hold the space? Hold the door open. Wake up and use your light to hold the door open, so that we can open it wider and wider as we go. And so there's less resistance, and we gain more power, which I believe we already have. Again, I believe we've already won. We're already in this new matrix, that we're the high vibrational matrix. We're just playing out what history, where the physicality of this dimension has to play out the rest of this game. So, but we've already won. But for purposes of people's understanding and what's going on right now in this now moment, what can they do? They can hold the space, hold this door open in your intention. So you're holding the light, you're holding this frequency that's allowing this door to remain open, so that other people can then join, and they can either pass through. Now, children pass right through. They're not holding the door. They are, what children are doing is they are literally going around to people who are asleep and waking them up with their light. They have this ability to just instantly transmute the dark into light, and they are just passing right through the doors left and right and bringing people with them. And that's why they're so beautiful, and animals as well. So we are walking through the door, or holding the door, or that vibrational frequency. So those people who contact me and say, I'm just one person, what can I do to help? And I'm trying to remind people that our light is individual lights are so powerful, because as I've talked about before with that light bright, as more of the lights pop on in that big matrix, the less there will be dark lights. And we are dismantling the dark energy, the lower vibrational energy, so that we can raise the frequency of the human race, along with Mother Earth, who's already raising her vibration. So we can then align. We need to align with Mother Earth as she transitions and raises her frequency and her vibration, because that's the entire purpose, is us to align with the Earth. That's why we're here, to have these human experiences, but be grounded and aligned with the earth, because that's the lesson we're here to learn, is how to be a human in a human body and have these experiences. And so the exciting part about all of this is that people are waking up in mass quantities. And so the challenging part about that is for those that have been awake for a while and have been holding that door and are tired, but excited. The people that are waking up are a little bit confused and trying to figure out what's what. And this is the next point in this video that I want to talk about, are the mass quantity of, what's it called? Wolf in sheep's clothing, I think it's how you say it. Be careful who you are seeking your information and your source of kind of what's next from, because there are, the lower vibrational entities and energies have a way of fooling people by presenting themselves as being from the light, and really they're not. And so their idea is to put you right back to sleep by hypnotizing you with some sort of information and making you feel like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, and then I'm going right back to sleep again. So we need to keep people awake, and the way you do that is through your discernment. So as the leaves fall from the trees, think about that metaphor and allow your leaves to fall. Make yourself a tree and allow your leaves to fall, so that when the lighter you feel, the higher vibration you are, and the frequency shifts, you are less likely to be hypnotized by the bogus information you're being fed, because it won't make sense. And when you feel it, you listen to it, but you feel it through your heart at what people are saying. Even my videos, listen to what I'm saying through here, not through your mind. And if it makes sense and it resonates with you, then you allow it through, and you will use your discernment to decide what you're going to do with the information, how you're going to help others, what are you going to do with that information. And if it doesn't resonate and it makes you feel icky, or it makes you question, not from up here, but question from here, because it doesn't feel right from what people are saying, then you need to pay attention to that, because that's a big red flag. We have a energetic body for a reason, because that energetic body receives information and energy before the physical body even gets there. And that's a security system that's supposed to ripple back to us, and so we know our truth. So that's why empathetic people, or empaths, are sensitive to energy vibrations and fluctuations, because they feel that ripple effect going through their energetic body, and then by the time it hits their physical body, they're like, nope, I don't like how this feels. And those are people who are very awake and very aware, but a lot of people are not. And so by the time it gets to the body and they feel icky about it, they question it, and they don't think from their intuition through their heart. They try to take it apart in their mind and figure it out through logic and cognitive thinking. And the problem with that is that takes you right back into that left brain, and you can convince yourself of anything. And so you can be misguided much more easily. But when you think from your heart, and you just even close your eyes and feel the energy flow through your body, and by the time it gets here, you pay attention to how it makes you feel from here in the right brain, not cognitive dissonance, not thinking, but just feeling, then you will you'll have a shift in your awareness, and your discernment will be much more clear. And then you will know those people that are dressing up in these beautiful clothes, but behind them it's just darkness and nothing. You'll be able to figure that out more quickly, and with ease, and you'll feel more empowered, and just be patient with the other people. And everybody has those individuals in their life that are very close to them that are still heavily asleep, and those people tend to be the ones that are the most stubborn, the ones that are hard-headed, the ones that won't listen, the ones that are adamant about their position. Those are the people that are the most asleep, and those are the people that I pray for, because when they do wake up, they are going to have the hardest time realigning and balancing themselves, because they'll be in such a state of shock that they are not going to know what to do. And so they are going to seek their friends and family that have been awake, that are waiting and willing with an open heart to help them figure it out. Because I've noticed a lot of light workers and people in podcasts and stuff, they have really great advice, and they say, just as we have all this news of heavy information coming out, and perhaps people that you have followed for years and years, and you've regarded them on a pedestal, or very high respect for them, and as you find out that they're not quite what you thought they were, or they're the exact opposite, there's going to be a mass amount of people with rage or confusion or frustration or misunderstanding. And so I think it's very difficult for people to come from a space of love, and that's what you're being guided to do. It's really hard to go from fear and anger to love, because they're two completely conflicting vibrations. And so my advice, or my thought, is what's an easier way to transmute that energy is to just come from a place of compassion. And that is just simply shifting your perspectives, taking a step back, and having patience and compassion for those that have been asleep, and no patience and compassion for those that have been dishonest and deceived us and kept us asleep. I'm not talking about those individuals or those energies. They've already been dismantled and dissolved, energetically speaking, and the light has already won. I'm speaking about family members and friends and those in your life that you want to be angry about, because how could they possibly be so asleep, or how could they possibly be so hypnotized? Why are they not waking up? Those are the people we're holding the space for. Those are the people we need to have compassion for, and understanding and empathy, that they were just so heavily hypnotized for their entire life that they just have lost their truth, and their ability to discern is inverted, and they are only thinking from their stubborn cognitive left brain, because they have been trained to do that, because a majority of us have been trained, a majority of the population, from young kids all the way throughout life, through schools, through movies and media and books. They are training us to think from our left brain, because they know that our right brain is so much more powerful. Because when you tap into your higher self, and let that cord I talked about last time, where it connects to the collective consciousness of humanity, the information provided is absolutely endless. You can ask any question and you will get an answer from a high vibration for your highest good. And the ability to tap into that is extremely powerful. And so if you can imagine, in order to maintain control over the population, they don't want us to have the ability to do that, or know that we have the innate ability to do that. So they have prevented that for so many generations by programming us to tap into the thinking, logical mind, working 40, 60, 80 hours a week, constantly being in school, getting this degree, constantly on the wheel of fight or flight, so that we are dense and unable to tap into the other side of our consciousness, which is a higher vibration. And it is the possibilities are infinite. Remember, we're in its quantum realm, and as this third dimensional matrix begins to dismantle, which it already has, but physically, as we catch up, the next couple of months are going to be dense and heavy, because we have to get through it. We got to walk through it, even though we've already made it energetically. And then as we transmute into a higher vibrational field and a higher vibrational state, we will then with ease be able to tap into that right brain, that higher consciousness that has always been there, and we will have a new perspective on just about everything in life. And if that's happening to you now, embrace it, because it's quite exciting. I think that my whole life has shifted in the last couple of months, and everything that I thought isn't anymore. And I have a different outlook about pretty much everything in life, and it's very interesting from this perspective. Again, no better than anybody, just different for me, and it's going to be different for you and everybody you know. And as people wake up, their consciousness shifts, their perspective shifts, clarity shifts, and as long as a majority of the population is in this higher vibrational field that aligns with Mother Earth, we are headed in a more positive direction. So we just need to get through the remainder of this year as history plays itself out, which it is, and just try not to allow your vibration to get lowered by watching things that you hear on the news or things with riots and things like that. Just hold the door open. Hold the door open for people. Close your eyes if you need to. Hold the space. Keep your vibration high. Keep your focus and your faith in a direction that we know we're headed, which is much better and peaceful than where we've been, where we've come from. And we will align properly. So that's it for today. I just wanted to give you that analogy of holding the space, holding the door, allowing people to wake up from that poppy seed field on their own time, and just having compassion for those as they wake up, so that we can help them navigate through their new reality, and answer any questions and just be there for them with compassion and empathy. So I hope that this video was helpful, and please continue to send me your questions through email, and I will be happy to try to answer anything. And if I don't know it, then I'll tell you I have no idea. But but I'll try my best. So enjoy your beautiful fall weather, and I'll see you guys soon.